Hello there. Welcome to the kitchen jungle. It's a little bit hurt by insects, and yeah, that tomato is just lying there in the sun to get some sun. It's not actually growing. But otherwise, I have problems with some insects, so a lot of missing leaves and so on. You can hear more about it in the Swedish episode. But for English speakers, Serbia and Kosovo is apparently getting friendlier with each other, at least economically. So they will open normal economic relations. And for some reason, Serbia is moving its embassy in Israel. I don't understand what that has to do with Kosovo, but that's something that Trump generally does when he is trying to negotiate. He throws in more variables, and with these variables, there becomes a bigger and bigger deal, and eventually people have worked so much with the deal that they can't say no to some sort of arrangement at least. So that seems what has been happening here. I don't know what Serbia gets for moving their embassy or details about it. What has also happened is the Atlantic have pushed this Lutheran suckers hoax. Trump has always paid huge respect to military and former military personnel, which seems quite genuine. And he has called soldiers in a tweet from 2013 or something for they are treated like suckers. They have to go to Iraq to fight a war that they shouldn't need to fight, according to Trump at that time. So he was not calling them suckers out of disrespect, but out of respect. But of course, people don't care about that because they really, really hate Trump. And now we have this former NATO Supreme Allied Commander over Europe from 2009 to 2013. A total moron who thinks that everything in the Atlantic and for anonymous sources are totally reliable. Why do they hire complete morons as generals? That's not good. So you can use this hoax and you can spot who are complete morons, that you should not listen to that kind of media, you should not listen to that person, you should not listen to that leader. And if you can, you should remove them from office. So it's a very useful hoax in that way. And I don't think it really hurt. It's not like the fine people hoax, where suddenly all the Trump supporters became neo-Nazis and they spread a lot of hate against them. Here it's just very lying, and it's against Trump, and they are trying to piss off veterans, which I don't think will succeed, very many of them. So this is more useful to spot morons and evil people. This VitaminD study from Spain is getting more traction and more article, a little error in that article that I'm linking to here, but good that it's going around at least. I can also correct myself, it's not 1 chance in a billion that this happened by chance, but it's less than 1 chance in a million. So not really likely that it was just by chance. It's most likely due to VitaminD having an effect on this storm that is brewing in the immune system. Ivermectin together with carrageenan, I have no idea to pronounce that, but it's something that they get from Red Sea algae. Together they did 100% successful prophylactic compared to 58% of the other people who didn't get this drug got infected, so that's a lot. We have never seen that many people anywhere, I think, that actually got infected with COVID, as most people seem to be pretty immune. But we'll see more about this study later on and get some more data. This is really interesting, and if we can help against other sicknesses and so on. Exactly this combination with Ivermectin and carrageenan that I haven't heard about before. And then an interesting article about the history of fortifications with vitamin D that was very prevalent in 1930s and so on. If you know something more, there were no pandemics at that moment, so during Second World War a lot of soldiers going everywhere, but not much happened when it comes to plague and so on, which was strange, especially when you have a lot of starvation in many places. But apparently the vitamin D worked, and then it triggered, vitamin D can trigger problems if you also lack vitamin K2, so then you can get calcification in your arteries. But if you don't have a shortage or a deficiency in K2, then it's no problem. And I talked about K2 before. You should really eat your sauerkraut or eggs or whatever you get it from, or in a pill or whatever. It's really good for you, and it's bad to have a shortage of K2. Here in Sweden, it turns out that our former Prime Minister, his son, got $1,000 in Swedish money, of course, in cash from his mother. His mother is now a spokesman for gay issues in their party. I think it's a problem if you have a drug approving mother in that kind of position. It means that she can be controlled. I don't mind if they have a child that uses a little bit of cocaine, and if they do it in a responsible way, but that's not the problem. The problem is it's illegal, so they can be extorted and controlled by really evil people. So we can't have any drug using families, and the worst thing is that media is trying to cover this up. So we need to switch out the media. They are pure evil, they are not working for you, and I think you can see similar things in your country. So with that, I see you tomorrow. I'm feeling much better in my throat, and after talking a little bit, it feels even better. I should probably talk even more or sing in the shower, but I will take a bath instead. And it's hard to sing in the bath for some reason. You need a shower for that.